Well, it's a weird story starting out actually. I used to work for a very small electrical firm, worked my way up to head electrician, bought a house, and then my old boss made some silly decisions and fell out with a couple of our large clients. So got to a point where I was only working a couple of days a week and I needed to pay my mortgage. So I made the hard decision that I had to go out on my own and make my own money basically. So I was kind of forced into the situation. It's quite scary at the beginning because going out on your own I had to buy a van, increase my tools and then sort of start finding clients. As I said before, I've never really advertised or sign written and sort of started off with a few other clients, and then I got a lucky phone call from, mentioned before, KFC Starbucks franchisee. And basically he was one of the old clients that my boss made a mistake with. So taking that on pretty much filled a big gap, and from there I could build out and sort of increase my client book basically. I mean, I've been quite lucky to be honest. As I said before, at the beginning was a bit scary when you're only working sort of 3 or 4 days a week and you're trying to pay a mortgage. That's quite scary. And then the other end of the spectrum is where we have too much work. And the worst time that comes is when we're building a Starbucks or KFC. So we're working 5 days a week, and then also some of my private clients are phoning me up. So we end up working late nights and weekends, which the missus doesn't like, but it's kind of the classic saying that you can't really say no to work, so when you're self-employed. So yeah. Again, quite lucky, don't have many problem clients. Had a problem builder before, who was a nightmare, but just stopped answering the phone to him basically. I've never had anyone hold out money on me, so that's okay. And I think it's going back again to not advertising and working for nice people. When you work for nice people, they pay you and they're nice to work for, so you reflect that really, and you're nice and you do good work, and the whole business it kind of works. It's quite hard to describe because there's times when for instance this week, I didn't plan this week. I got to Sunday and put a couple of jobs in, and then the week evolved as I worked my way through it, because as I said, we're in a downtime between building large projects. So it just kind of happens. I don't know how to describe it. I think because I have such a large base of people that I work for, they constantly sort of want work done. And it's sort of like, it's having people that always, so say like a classic domestic customer with a house, you might go and do a couple of sockets, a couple of lights, but then that might dry up. Whereas if you have commercial stuff, like KFCs and Starbucks, they're just constantly breaking and needing refurbs. So that's your constant client that you're always going to come back to. And I think you just have to have that trust sometimes that the phone is going to ring or you're going to get that email and the job will come in. And to this point, I haven't got to a point where I've had to go out and actually find work. So yeah, we're doing all right at the moment. Mainly advice from friends and family. My dad had gone self-employed a year or two before I did, so that was a major help. And then again, I needed to get a van, so that was £7,000, which I didn't have, which I was about to get finance for, and then my mum decided that she'd pay, and I basically got finance with my mum. So again, it's help from friends and family really, but yeah, I think that gave me the confidence to do it, was to speak into someone like my dad who'd done it before, so anything I needed to know, he'd already been through and figured it out. So that would probably be my main advice, is to speak to people that have done it before. I think just being your own boss and doing whatever you want to do. Because literally it's just working my way through the week. It's nice that I know I can set my own hours, I can pretty much pick the people I work for, I can pick the people I work alongside. And it gives you freedom within your own life, I think, to live your life the way you want to live it. So at the moment, I try and not work evenings and weekends to spend time with the missus. But then when times get tough and there's lots of work on, then I do have to do that. But it's the choice I make to do it when I want to do it. I think that's my favourite thing, is it's just being in control of your life basically. So yeah.